What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about the zombies update that nobody is talking about. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, because we're very close to 100,000 subscribers here on the main channel. Really appreciate it. Also drop a like and turn notifications on to stay up to date with everything going on in Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, Warzone Mobile, and any other future Call of Duty as well. Also, don't forget about the Juggernaut beanies available over on eBay. They were previously on Amazon, but have been moved over there to better fit the seller. They were put together by an individual known as Perk Lemonade, and be sure to pick one up while they're still available to keep that zombies hype going throughout the 2-year hiatus that the mode is likely about to have. But if you guys are like, wait, how are you talking about TranZit? Is this about Chronicles 2? I know you guys are probably thinking, but look, I'm not here to talk about a tired old discussion about something that I've put to rest, at least as of a couple of months ago. I talked about my final thoughts on that topic, the original rumors about it being something for Black Ops 4, and then the rumors that popped up that it was going to be in Cold War, COD 2020. I talked all about that in depth already, and it's a topic that I have no interest in unless new information becomes available. Now, there's something though that I do want to address in regards to TranZit, which for some reason nobody has really brought up, but there might be a good reason why. It has been sitting there waiting to be released, and it's unknown why it's taking this long for it to come out. And as you guys can see, the COD Mobile YouTube channel a couple of days ago did post a video called The Horde Incoming, and the thumbnail does say the Horde is incoming this October. And if you're like, wait, what does that got to do with TranZit? The trailer does show Shido Numa. And before I continue, I do want to say Shido Numa was the only experience in COD Mobile Zombies, and that's separate from the Undead Siege LTM, which we're going to talk about later in this video. But Shido Numa was the only experience in COD Mobile Zombies, and because that was the case, I just feel like Zombies wasn't ever meant to survive that long. I mean, you can't just drop a map that's over 10 plus years old and keep that as the only experience for months and months and months. It got to the point where nobody out there was probably even playing Shido Numa anymore because they were tired of it. Whereas there was gameplay that existed of TranZit and Nacht Untoten being played in COD Mobile Zombies, and the maps looked finished. And years later, we still don't have those maps out. But if you look closely in this trailer teasing the return of zombies in COD Mobile, you could see a very short frame of somebody opening a door, and right away it clicked on my head that that's somewhere in Farm. And funny enough, if you look at old gameplay of TranZit in COD Mobile, there's actually a specific moment when you go to the farm section of the map where once you open the door, a zombie will try to attack you. You take out a pistol and you shoot him. That exact same shot is in this trailer, confirming that TranZit is indeed finally coming to COD Mobile after so many years. Now, I even went on to the custom map remaster of Farm over here in BO3, so you guys can see exactly what room I'm talking about. Once you guys see that, it'll probably click that, yeah, that is indeed a section on Farm. But something to point out about TranZit in COD Mobile is that it's either going to be a round-based version, just how we knew it from Black Ops 2, or it's going to be something a little bit different where it's subsections of TranZit broken up into different game modes. And what we've seen gameplay of as of a couple of years ago is different type of modes being played on each section. You could definitely tell there's a lot of objectives, some very linear gameplay, and then bosses at the very end of whatever objective that was. And we've seen gameplay on Bus Depot, on Diner, Farm, Town. We've seen gameplay of nearly every section of TranZit, so I'd be surprised if they don't find a way to combine all that into one sole experience, which I believe is probably what they're gonna do, at least eventually. But I think everybody out there would be happy with just regular round-based. And I know Shido Numa was a bit iffy for COD Mobile Zombies, where there was an objective type mode that ended after like, what, 10, 15 rounds, and then there was a harder version of that where there was a big boss at the end of all those rounds, but it wasn't really traditional round-based like we all knew. And it's not like what we had back in the day with the original COD Zombies app on iOS and Android, where you can go to high rounds on a couple of different of your favorite maps, and you can actually save your progress and come back later. I remember playing that as a kid on my iPod Touch. That was such a good amount of fun. Used to play it all the time in between classes, maybe even in class sometimes, on the bus ride home. I have a lot of memories with that game, but the game stopped getting support after, I think, a little while. They were gonna add DLC maps to that experience, but just never did. Only a couple of maps remained playable in that experience. So I think seeing this come back is great for everybody out there that is waiting for something new to happen in the zombies community. Now, if you guys are like, wait, what's the release date of this? Well, they obviously confirm October from the thumbnail and video I just showed you guys. But if you're like, wait, when in October? Is this a Halloween type update? Well, the current battle pass does end on October 13th, and October is also the 3rd anniversary of COD Mobile. So I think it's actually really poetic to see zombies finally getting added into COD Mobile, and hopefully it's something that's here to stay. Because if it is a Halloween LTM, that would make sense. But at the same time, I just think a lot of people out there in the community are tired of such good content being locked behind a limited time mode. But you know what? If there aren't many people actually playing the experience, and people out there are kind of maybe trying it out for a week and then never touching it again, then with that, I understand them kind of saving resources, saving space in the application application itself and removing said content after a couple of weeks or a month. But I think if this TranZit Numa experiment is successful for COD Mobile again, then I wouldn't be surprised if those experiences are here to stay, or if they bring it back periodically with fresh updates. Now, you guys might not remember, but a couple of months ago, there was an Undead Siege event added to COD Mobile, and it was a new type of zombies gameplay that we haven't seen before. It even brought back Primis, and I didn't really feel right about that at the time. I believe this came out at around the time Untoten did for Black Ops Cold War, and I remember seeing the cinematic cutscene, which was beautiful, by the way, but I just couldn't help but think, you know, we had such a powerful ending to Primis in Tagged or Toten. Yeah, you guys could disagree and say the ending could have been better, that's fine, but it was overall a send-off for our original characters, and I'm aware that Nolan North is back as Eddie and the director for the new Dark Ether storyline, but, you know, seeing a lifeless Takio there, considering Tom Kane wasn't able to return to voice act because he had a stroke, it just rubbed me the wrong way, and I wasn't really a fan of that. But the experience itself brought in tower defense live gameplay. A lot of people out there didn't like it. A lot of people out there said that it was a bit too difficult. It almost felt like resources were kind of put in the wrong places, especially considering everybody out there wanted round base, and everybody out there was like, wait, what about TranZit? What about Nacht? Gameplay exists of those maps, why aren't those experiences out? But then they brought in Undead Siege. It was definitely a weird time, but I certainly think that they would bring that back. Hopefully it's a more polished and refined type of mode, because it was kind of trying to be like Outbreak a little bit, but more with a tower defense element, which we really haven't seen that much over in Zombies. So I even wonder if any gameplay elements from Undead Siege would make their way over into Numa or into TranZit. But look, as I said earlier in the video, and as I've said many times before over the last couple of years, Numa's great. I enjoy it. We just got a remaster of it technically over in Vanguard. I mean, Numa Reborn is fantastic. The map plays well, has a great Easter egg, but to see that again in COD Mobile, it's like, can you have added any other map but that one? Unless there's new gameplay opportunities on the new version coming out, then I just can't help but think that it's better to put in TranZit, Nacht, maybe even bring back Undead Siege or something else. I'm a little confused as to why Numa's coming back yet again, but hey, I'm not complaining about extra content. I'm not complaining about the zombies community finally getting something after a little while. But to go back on the topic of even Nacht or Untoten now, this is a map that gameplay exists of, and it's kind of ironic how it plays like D Machine. You can go outside, and D Machine is the only version of Nacht or Untoten where we can actually do that. But funny enough, the COD Mobile version of Nacht existed way before Cold War Zombies did, so it definitely is weird that that just never came out. I mean, you would have thought with the hype of D Machine, maybe adding Nacht into COD Mobile Zombies would have made sense. I just think that would have been the best approach. And it's also funny that when gameplay first leaked out of COD Mobile Zombies many years ago, I think it was before even BO4 dropped, TranZit was the first map we saw footage of, not Numa and not Nacht. So I just really scratched my head as to what the approach and direction is with the zombies mode in COD Mobile. I mean, if you update it every so often, at least once or twice a season, I think it could remain as popular as maybe even regular zombies does for consoles and PC. And I just don't think zombies got the right type of support for COD Mobile that other modes like multiplayer and battle royale did. But if you guys are like, DK, I don't care about mobile, I don't really care about mobile games, when's TranZit coming out in the premium Call of Duty series? Well, here's the thing, right? Despite all the rumors about a TranZit remake existing for BO4, Cold War, as much as I don't want to talk about that, what I will say is with the rumored 2023 free-to-play zombies project coming out, again, it's not confirmed, but it's rumored, I think there is maybe an opening for a possible TranZit remake or just remasters in general to come out to kind of give the zombies community something while the mode's on hiatus. But then I wouldn't want that to take away resources from Treyarch's development on the next Black Ops game, so maybe that's something being planned for Black Ops 2024 or whenever that game comes out. I do think a Chronicles 2 or a pack around that nature would sell very well, even though we've kind of moved to a different model with DLC where all maps are free. Maybe they'll find a creative way to release something like that. But if anything, I think a standalone zombies project with just maybe one application that has all maps in it, beautifully remastered for current tech, I think that would be brilliant. But if a TranZit remake or a Chronicles 2 of any sorts doesn't happen in the next Black Ops game, then that's when you know that any plans for that are either out the window or have been out the window for years and years. And maybe Black Ops 4 truly was the only game that they've worked on in recent years where that was something they were building the foundation for. I mean, you can clearly see all the evidence, which I'm not going to go over again, but all the evidence from Blackout, from multiplayer, I mean, even in the zombies mode itself, I mean, TranZit was going to happen. But in terms of their plans now, I think plans certainly could have changed. Now, it's also worth pointing out that whatever zombies content comes out in COD Mobile Mobile, whether it's just subsections of TranZit, whether it's the whole experience, you know, Numa, whatever that is, that'll likely be some of the last zombies content we'll see for quite a while, unless Treyarch has some crazy plan that none of us out there could have expected to somehow update Vanguard zombies, not with new maps, but new quests or intel and storyline. Then I do think that'll really be it. And it's like I've said, you know, on the podcast recently as well, if you're a zombies only kind of guy and don't make content, then sure, you can find other games to play in the meantime. Maybe you'll give Modern Warfare 2 a chance. But if you're a zombies focused content creator, the way I see it, I think your best bet is to maybe move on to Modern Warfare 2 somehow to some capacity, whether it's DMZ, whether it's raids, which are going to be like zombies Easter eggs anyway, big long hunts. Maybe move on to something with Spec Ops, or maybe you change trajectory entirely and somehow do some other variety content. But yeah, there's the people out there that'll still stick to some of the older zombies games, making some nostalgic zombies content. But here, something in COD Mobile, why not cover it? I mean, it's something that will probably make the zombies community pretty excited, and I think the reach for a release like this is going to be massive. I mean, everybody out there has a phone, not everybody out there has a PC or a console, so I think it might be a niche audience with COD Mobile, but it's still a pretty large audience at the end of the day. But I do plan on posting more COD Mobile coverage over on my second channel, dkdynamite Plus. Definitely be sure to subscribe over there. Any support is appreciated. But I think I do have a commitment to really covering Warzone Mobile, since that'll be very tightly integrated with MW2 and Warzone 2, as I covered in a recent video that I posted yesterday. But COD Mobile is one of those games that has so much content to the point where you almost don't know where to start, and maybe that's a good thing, but I think a lot of time and even money is needed to really get into the COD Mobile ecosystem, which I'm going to try to dabble in every now and again. But I think over the last few years I've been so focused on premium Call of Duty content that I didn't really get a chance to cover too much COD Mobile, but it's always fun going back to the game every once in a while. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the zombies update that nobody's really talking about? This is TranZit, but in a new way, and a way that we've been waiting for the last couple of years. Let me know what you think down below. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.